Welcome to the extraordinary journey of video games, a tale woven by the dreams of visionaries and the passion of players. From the flickering pixels of early experiments to the breathtaking worlds of modern gaming, video games have not only revolutionized entertainment but also mirrored the human experience. Join us as we explore the groundbreaking innovations and profound cultural impact that have shaped this incredible medium. The 1950s. A time of poodle skirts, Elvis Presley, and the very first video games? Believe it or not, the seeds of today's gaming giants were sown in the research labs of universities. These early games were rudimentary, often using clunky computers and simple graphics, but they were groundbreaking. One such game was Tennis for Two, created in 1958. Imagine playing a rudimentary version of tennis on an oscilloscope. Not exactly the high-definition experience we know and love today, but back then, it was revolutionary. It showed the potential for computers to be more than just calculating machines. They could be fun too. These early pioneers of play were driven by a simple desire to explore the possibilities of this new technology. Little did they know they were laying the foundation for a multi-billion-dollar industry. They were creating a new form of entertainment, one that would captivate generations to come. And so, in the quiet corners of research labs, the gaming revolution began. It wasn't flashy or glamorous, but it was the spark that ignited a global phenomenon. Fast forward to the 1970s, the disco ball was spinning, bell-bottoms were all the rage, and a new form of entertainment was exploding onto the scene: arcade games. These coin-operated behemoths drew crowds with their simple yet addictive gameplay and flashing lights. One game stood above the rest: Pong, 2 paddles, a dot, and hours of fun. It was simple, elegant, and utterly captivating. Pong wasn't the first video game, but it was the first to truly capture the public's imagination. Arcades were soon teeming with gamers eager to test their skills against each other. But the gaming revolution wasn't confined to arcades. In 1972, the Magnavox Odyssey became the first home video game console. It wasn't exactly a graphical powerhouse. Players had to overlay plastic sheets on their TV screens to simulate different game environments. But it was a start. It brought the excitement of arcade gaming into the living room. The 1970s was a time of experimentation for video games. It was a period of pixelated pioneers, forging a new path for entertainment. And as the decade drew to a close, one thing was clear: video games were here to stay. The 1980s. Leg warmers, shoulder pads, and the golden age of arcade games. Arcades became social hubs, filled with the sounds of joystick mashing and the thrill of victory, or the agony of defeat. Games like Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, and Space Invaders became cultural phenomena. These weren't just games, they were cultural touchstones. They were instantly recognizable, endlessly playable, and utterly addictive. But behind the scenes, the gaming industry was changing. The home console market was heating up. Atari, the company behind Pong, had released its Atari 2600 console, bringing arcade-quality gaming to homes. The 1980s saw the rise of iconic gaming franchises like Mario, Zelda, and Metroid. These games weren't just fun to play, they were pushing the boundaries of what video games could be. They were introducing new genres, new gameplay mechanics, and new ways to tell stories. The arcade scene might have been booming, but a new era of gaming was dawning. The battle for living room dominance was about to begin. The console wars were heating up. Nintendo, a Japanese company known for its arcade hits, entered the fray with the Nintendo Entertainment System, NES. The NES, with its iconic gray cartridges and now legendary games like Super Mario Bros. And The Legend of Zelda, revitalized the home console market. Sega, another Japanese company, wasn't far behind. They released the Sega Master System, boasting superior graphics and innovative gameplay. The battle lines were drawn: Nintendo versus Sega, Mario versus Sonic. It was a rivalry for the ages. The 1980s also saw the rise of personal computers, PCs. While not initially designed for gaming, PCs offered something consoles couldn't: versatility. They could be used for work, for school, and yes, for playing games. Games like Doom and Wolfenstein 3D on the PC pushed the boundaries of graphics and gameplay even further. They introduced the world to the first-person shooter genre, a genre that would go on to dominate the gaming landscape. The 1980s were a time of intense competition and innovation in the gaming industry. It was a battle fought on two fronts: consoles and PCs. And in the end, it was the gamers who benefited the most. The 1990s grunge music, the internet, and a whole new dimension in gaming. The battle for living room dominance continued to rage, but the battlefield had changed. The arrival of 3D graphics changed everything. Sony, a newcomer to the console market, released the PlayStation. With its sleek design, powerful processing power, and focus on CD-ROM technology, the PlayStation ushered in a new era of gaming. Games like Final Fantasy VII and Metal Gear Solid showcased the cinematic potential of video games. Nintendo, not to be outdone, released the Nintendo 64. With its innovative controller and groundbreaking games like Super Mario 64 and The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, the N64 proved that Nintendo was still a force to be reckoned with. Sega, despite its innovative Saturn console, struggled to keep up. The console wars were reaching a fever pitch, with each company vying for a piece of the gaming pie. But something else was happening in the world of gaming, something that would change the way we played forever. The internet was connecting gamers in ways never before imagined. The world was going online, and gaming was right there with it. The 1990s saw the rise of online gaming, connecting gamers across the globe in virtual worlds. Games like Quake and StarCraft popularized online multiplayer gaming. Gamers could now test their skills against opponents from around the world, forming communities and rivalries in the process. The rise of the internet also led to the development of massively multiplayer online role-playing games, or MMORPGs. Games like Ultima Online and EverQuest allowed thousands of players to inhabit vast, persistent virtual worlds, embarking on epic quests and forging their own destinies. The 1990s was a decade of transition for gaming. It was a time when three-dimensional graphics revolutionized the way games looked and felt, and it was a time when the internet connected gamers in ways never before imagined, laying the foundation for the online gaming landscape we know and love today. The new millennium dawned, bringing with it Y2K anxieties, which thankfully never materialized, and a whole new era of gaming. The internet was no longer a novelty, it was an integral part of our lives, and gaming was evolving alongside it. Consoles were becoming multimedia powerhouses. The PlayStation 2, released in 2000, dominated the market. With its DVD playback capabilities and a vast library of games, the PS2 became the best-selling console of all time. Microsoft, the software giant, entered the console market with the Xbox. While not as commercially successful as the PS2, the Xbox laid the groundwork for Microsoft's future dominance in the online gaming space with its Xbox Live service. Nintendo, meanwhile, marched to the beat of its own drum with the GameCube. While not as commercially successful as its predecessors, the GameCube introduced innovative features like the Game Boy Advance link-up cable, allowing for cross-platform play. The 2000s saw the rise of online gaming communities. Forums, message boards, and online gaming services like Xbox Live connected gamers in new and exciting ways. The smartphone revolution changed everything. No longer were we tethered to our consoles or PCs to get our gaming fix. We could now play games anytime, anywhere on devices that fit in our pockets. Mobile gaming exploded in popularity. Games like Angry Birds, Candy Crush Saga, and Clash of Clans became global phenomena. They were simple to pick up, addictive to play, and designed perfectly for short bursts of gameplay. But mobile gaming wasn't just about casual games. Complex and immersive experiences were also finding a home on mobile devices. Games like Infinity Blade and Monument Valley showcased the potential for mobile gaming to deliver console-quality experiences on the go. The rise of mobile gaming coincided with the explosion of esports. Competitive gaming was nothing new, but the rise of streaming platforms like Twitch and YouTube gaming allowed millions of viewers to watch their favorite gamers compete for glory and prize pools. Esports became a global phenomenon, with games like League of Legends, Dota 2, and Fortnite drawing in massive audiences and generating millions in revenue. As of 2024, the gaming industry shows no signs of slowing down. Virtual reality gaming, once the stuff of science fiction, is becoming increasingly mainstream. VR headsets like the Oculus Quest 2 and the Valve Index offer immersive gaming experiences unlike anything we've seen before. Augmented reality gaming, which overlays digital elements onto the real world, is also gaining traction. Games like Pokemon Go have shown the potential for AR gaming to get people moving and exploring the world around them. Cloud gaming, which allows us to stream games on any device with an internet connection, is another exciting development. Services like Google Stadia and NVIDIA GeForce Now are making it easier than ever to access and play demanding games without the need for expensive hardware. The future of gaming is bright. With new technologies emerging all the time, who knows what exciting new experiences await us in the years to come? One thing's for sure, the journey of gaming, from those humble beginnings in research labs to the immersive, interconnected experiences of today, has been nothing short of extraordinary. And this game is far from over. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. See you next time.